I am, you know my journey, and you know what it's about. So that's good, excellent, and thank you for joining us once again. So we're going to start off with the talk, and then we're going to have Pauline, who is going to do the dance workout. Okay, please feel free to put your screen on or off. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. That's fine. A brief introduction to Nike Akiti. She's actually going to introduce herself. She's got a wonderful session today, and she's going to be talking about her journey, her weight loss journey. She's going to be talking about food swaps, and she's going to be talking a little bit about healthy food portions as well. So I think that's all very useful, isn't it? So looking forward to that. So I'm simply going to hand it over to Nike. You're most welcome, Nike. It's over to you.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody put yourself on mute. Go ahead.
All right, yeah, sorry. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
Right, hi. So yes, as Shay said, my name is Nike, and I'll just start by saying that back in 2018, I got to what I would easily say was the heaviest weight I've ever been in most of my life. And that weight was actually gained, it was over a period of time, but the damaging part was in quite a short period of time. So I've prepared a little presentation to show you, because I think that will just be a little bit easier. Don't be daunted by the number of slides, because I'm not going to be talking over all of them. Okay, so bear with me 1 second. So please let me know if you can see. Oh, where's it gone? Oh yeah, here. Right. Oh. Right, hang on 1 second. Right, okay, so yes. Well, so basically what I've called it is my journey to healthy portion sizes. Okay, because for me, categorically, I didn't have any health issues, so automatically my weight was put on basically because of the lifestyle and the food that I was eating. So I've got just this little video here to show you what happened. So it's just 2 seconds. Right, so there, that was that. So what I always say is that I'm the living example of the person, when they say you can't out-train a bad diet, that was me. Okay, so in a period of 9 to 10 months, I lost over 6 stones. But I think we all know that weight loss is, I mean, it's not easy, but the hard part is keeping it off. So I'm very happy to say that I'm 12 months now into maintaining, and I've kept it all off during lockdown. I've seen some benefits, smaller clothes size, I can move better. I'm still a work in progress, still working on the habits. So yeah, so what did I learn? I learned that I like carbs too much. Putting it mildly, too big a portion size, too much sugar, using treats, not really counting treats as part of my food, ate out of boredom, especially when I was at work, not eating for nutrients or paying attention to what my body needed, really. I don't know whether that is quite typical. So what I've done is I've sort of broken it down. What I'm talking about, I've broken it down into stages. So if you're at the beginning of a healthy journey route, I would say that you need to set yourself some plans or rules. So if you're following a high street diet, like Slimming World or Weight Watchers or Herbalife, they have how you have to be. And I would always suggest that at the very beginning, you follow that stringently. That was, I think, my downfall with trying other diets, apart from this one, was the fact that I was always trying to take shortcuts, trying to swap things out. You know, being a person of ethnic background, the type of food we eat was not really catered for in those diets as well. So that was quite hard. So I've got here things like salt, processed foods, shop-bought lattes, one of my downfalls, chai lattes, teas, soda, fast food takeout, no fancy sauces, fancy seasoning, should be simple, nutrient-dense food, and try to use simple, straightforward recipes. This is at the very beginning because it helps to reset our body, etc., to absorb those nutrients. Now I've got stage 2, when you're comfortable, you've gained some success, you know what you're doing, you're probably more active, more agile, enjoying that success, so then you might be eating more food than you were at the beginning. And I think this is the stage where you've sort of got halfway, where you'll be tempted to go back to some of your old ways. And this is really where food swapping comes in, where you need to become more aware of why we swap the foods out, etc. Ideally, if you're needing more food, really, it should be more of the food you were already eating, foods that you were eating for nutrition, for them to help your body. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about portion sizes. So I've got here, so we know this. I think anybody who lives in the UK, we have it drummed down our faces at every opportunity. And this is from the NHS website, where it just tells you that if you're a woman and you're wanted to live a healthy lifestyle, you should be taking 2,000 calories a day, and for men, it's 2,500. We already know that. And I just put these pictures here. These are pictures of food that I'd been eating while I was trying to lose weight. So in order to get these portion sizes, I know nobody likes weighing their food or measuring their food. It's really boring. There are ways you could do it without weighing, but for me, I found weighing was definitely the best thing. And so these things here are my best friends. So no, I don't weigh my food every day. But what I tended to do, so like for example, porridge, my portion size is 40 grams. So what I did is I weighed out 40 grams. I knew what it looked like. I knew that I've got a spoon in my porridge bowl, and I weighed out the 40 grams and I counted how many spoons of that particular spoon in the porridge bowl, the dry porridge bowl it was, and that's just what I count out every morning. And I just add an extra 2 scoops for my husband, because obviously he's a bloke and he needs more. And I bake a lot now, and quite often I always measure my oil, so I need these things here. And I've just found that it's helped to keep me on track there. Okay, I said, so we know this. Okay, so this is from the NHS website. It says we should get 45 to 65% of our calories from carbs. So sorry to anybody who's doing keto here. I mean, these things all depend on your lifestyle, on how active you are, on any underlying illnesses, etc. you have, of obviously, which I wouldn't really comment on. But in the main, generally speaking, this is what they say, and they say 20 to 35% from fats. And talking about fats, actually, that is where you can really make some very valuable swaps. And then we've got here 10 to 35% from proteins. So, which, and I've got here, we also need to add in some healthy fats. But what I tend to do is either you cook with the healthy fats or you drizzle them on. So yeah, it works a bit like that. So the basic is, I've just talked for women, so sorry if so many guys here. If you're a woman, you're looking at 900 to 1,300 calories from carbs, 200 to 700 from proteins, and 400 to 700 from fats. Okay, and this is how I sort of work it out. I said basically you want to know what 100 grams of your favorite foods look like. So what your favorite proteins are, what your favorite carbs are, and what they contribute towards your calories. So 100 grams of chicken is approximately 200 to 220 calories. 100 grams of salmon is approximately 180, and so on and so forth. Carbs, 100 grams of rice, 120 to 140. 100 grams of pounded jam. Any Nigerians on here? Well, yeah, pounded jam, Gary, very high in calories, as you'd expect. because they're very highly processed. I think it would be different if you pounded the yam from scratch, but I couldn't find a value for that. And 100 grams of plantain is 122 calories, and 100 grams of plantain is not very much. And on average, 1 tablespoon of any fat is 120 calories. So, and obviously, as I alluded to earlier, not all fats are created equal. Okay, let me go down here. So yeah, so I've sort of put a picture of here of what 100 grams look. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Go back. Oh, what 100 grams looks like. That's 100 grams of brown rice. Basmati rice, you probably get a little bit more because it seems to be a bit lighter. That's 100 grams of chicken, and that's 100 grams of sweet potato. So, and that's generally what portion size looks like if you're going on 2,000, 1,600. I came across this quote, which I thought was very interesting. It said, before you eat non-functional foods, get the nutrients you need first. Okay. I think when you do that, you become more satisfied and you don't tend to go for the non-functional foods anyways. I know this is 2020 and not everybody has time to cook everything at home, but to me, that is the biggest food swap you can make, is to make everything at home within reason. Okay. So I've got here, why swap out? Because you get more nutrients. When your body gets more nutrients, you don't feel as hungry. You can reduce the amount of sugar you take, increase your fiber intake, reduce the calorie density of your food, which means that you eat more and you will stay fuller for longer. Okay. So I put this here. I'm sure we all know the reason why they tell us to swap brown foods, but I actually found it quite interesting in the sense that if you actually look at, especially if you look at the sweet potato versus the white potato, of recent, in a few years, it's exploded. Everybody eats sweet potato. But in actuality, the difference between them is not that great. So, if you're going to eat a lot of vegetables, there's nothing wrong with having white potato. But the thing with the sweet potato, especially the orange one, has got a lot of those beta carotenes and things that we need. It's all about the fiber, to be honest. Wholemeal, one slice of wholemeal bread has got 2.5 grams of fiber in it, and white bread has only got 1 gram. And the whole thing with the whole grain is that the more processed it is, the more you just get to the bit where there's nothing. It's just sort of just strips out where all the goodness is. That is the problem. That is the main problem. So in other words, the more refined the product is, the less nutrients there are in that food. Okay. So I've got here about sugar, because that's a big one. I learned that we're only supposed to have 6 to 7 grams of free sugars. And when I first came across this, I actually thought that 6 to 7 grams of free sugars was actually just the sugar you put on top of your food or in your sugar and coffee. But no, it means basically any sugar that doesn't come as part of something. So that includes all the stuff in cakes and in bread and etc. etc. So I've got here some natural things to swap out your sugar with. So my swaps that I did mainly was I cut out all my sauces. I make my own. I make my own tomato sauce that's based on what we used to do growing up. I remember when we were younger, we would send somebody to the market to go and make the pepper and the onions, and then when they would bring it back, they would heat it up and it was cooked, and you'd use that to make all your sauces. So I've gone back to doing that. Sometimes I buy snacks, but in the main I like to make them with oatmeal. You can use applesauce as a sweetener. As you can tell, my last vice is definitely sugar. I'm struggling to give that one up, so that's my next goal. And then healthy fats. Okay, so the healthy fats are the ones that have not got those hydrogenated things in there. So you're looking at things like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, stuff like that. So yeah, and then I wrote down some other alternatives here. So for people that are on low carb diets, for example, I've got here about spiralizing. I've seen that some people have started to make like fufu swallow, that type of thing out of cabbage. Oatmeal, they use that as well. And I've seen also people using courgettes, cabbage as lasagna sheets, and which is all very good if you're into that type of thing. But I struggle with that. I just think, oh my God, I'd rather have a smaller portion of the normal stuff. But those are things that are all out there. Oils. So basically, I would always suggest to people that you want to swap your oils out for cold pressed oils. So if you don't want extra virgin oil, there's rapeseed oil, the first one that comes, because it's the one that naturally comes in the product, right, without too much processing. And I've got here, yeah, that was my last one. Yeah, that was my last my last slide. And the other thing is, well, if you like fruit teas, one of my best swaps is to actually use the fruit. So rather than going to buy the tea bag, to actually use the fruit to steep it in the water and get the tea, and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's in the main. Those are the type of swaps that I think are useful.
Thank you so much, Nika. That was really, do you want to just take your screen off so I can see everybody?
Oh, yeah.
That was really, really useful. I hope everybody would agree with me. That was a really detailed presentation, and it's also telling a little bit about her journey and her story, and how it's never over in a sense. It's just a continuous kind of journey, you know, because you are constantly actually making sure that you are, you know, looking after yourself. And I love those portion containers. I've not seen that. Where did you get those portion measurements?
Oh, what, you mean the measuring cups? I think I bought them on Amazon.
Okay. Are they expensive?
No, because they've got all sorts of ones now. You can get some of them. I've got some other plastic ones as well. Those are my favorite ones because they're stainless steel. Plastic ones stale. I've just noticed there that Sally's put in there about aubergine. Is a good one for making, if you like, I think it's amala, she said. I can't, where is it gone here? Yeah, so if you like amala, anybody here that likes a dark type of swallow, you can use aubergine, so they sort of mash up. But yeah, going back to the containers, I use those to measure when I'm baking, but also when I did have to weigh my food stringently, it was really frustrating. So when I measured out the 100 grams of rice, I had a container, and I used that to measure it. And so the next time I would literally just put the rice in that container and know, okay, that is 100 grams of rice. Right. And you sort of take up the construct from there. And then the other swap that I would suggest, if you're just looking to get onto a healthy journey and you're not looking at the macros, you're not trying to sculpt your body, but you just want to have healthy food, is that if you take a smaller plate, I'm not a great fan of that, but I do it because it helps me. But if you take not so much just a smaller plate, but you take the proportions, so you take a quarter of the plate will be protein, a quarter of it will be carbs, and the rest of it, I'm sure I don't have to say what it is, will be the vegetables. Because the other thing is, well, you get most of your fiber from the vegetables and stuff like that, and then that makes the food a little bit less calorie dense and it makes it more nutrient dense.
Excellent. Does anybody have any questions? I can't see everybody. Hold on, let me just. Yeah, I've got you on view now. Any questions? If you have, do you want to just take off your mic or raise your hand or something so that I can see you? Okay. I'm not sure you have any questions. Another thing, I have tried some of the swaps. I have to say, I'm not really, I don't know, I'm not such a fan. So, you know, that's a work in progress for me. And then somebody reckoned, Nike, your sister reckoned, Nike in Texas, your sister reckoned cauliflower rice. I don't know whether you've had that.
You see, I tried that even before I went on the diet, and it works with curry. If you're a great fan of curry, it works perfectly. But if you're a Nigerian person and you put cauliflower rice with stew, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. Well, I mean, I put whatever flavor I want. It's, I mean, like your spices, because spices are what is really key when you're eating noodles.
Exactly.
It's on your spice. So you're right, the curries, but even stew. But I make sure my stew is really flavored well. And I put a lot of spices in the stew, so it works.
It works.
Yeah.
But you see, that's the key thing when you take control and you do what you like, because for whatever you like, there's somebody out there will tell you it's not good, or that they don't like it. So yeah, that's interesting. I think I might give it another go. Although, as people know, in this house, there's a certain other person that lives here has declared war on cauliflower. Like, I'm not eating that again, ever. You know, because of it at the beginning, just at the back end of actually coming off the plan, cauliflower was something that came in a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I tried it. I do like cauliflower, but I tried the cauliflower rice and it just wasn't working. And luckily, I had only made a portion for one, so I didn't even try it with the other person in the house, because he would say, "Look, Mum, this is getting out of control now. Please, stop." Another thing about the different types of oils, I don't know. Oh, that's another one that I tried, the rapeseed oil, and I don't like it. I don't know. The different kind of oils.
Yeah.
I don't mind olive oil, vegetable, sunflower, but some of the others I'm not that keen on.
It's quite hard, to be honest. And the thing with olive oil is I don't know. What was I going to say? It has quite a distinct taste, especially if you go for the extra virgin olive oil, which is why I tend to then go for the rapeseed oil. And I know there's a lot of things about palm oil and stuff like that, but from my understanding, the interpretation of it, if you get the unrefined one, if you're in Nigeria, you could bring back the palm oil that you know is for somebody's back garden. There's nothing wrong with that, in moderation. They all have the same amount of calories. It's just that some of them have better nutrients. And the nearer they are to the fruit, the better they are for you, is what I've understood.
I'd like to recommend an oil, which is grapeseed oil.
I've heard of that, grapeseed.
I buy 5 litres of it at a time now. But
that's great.
Did you say grapeseed?
Yeah,
grapeseed.
Oh, right. I've not had that. Is that available at a normal shop? And what's the advantage? Is it quite good?
I'm not sure if it is available, because I think I might have had to order it online. But basically, I was following an alkaline. I still do follow an alkaline diet, and that's the oil that was recommended, and it's very good. Doesn't have any aftertaste, any flavour or anything, but that's
the other thing I was going to say as well.
Cooking everything.
You will find that with a lot of these things, I didn't really talk much about the alternatives to sugar there, but a lot of the good things like coconut sugar is really expensive. Like even a little, you get a little bag like this and it's £1.75. I find that with the oils as well, like avocado oil.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Good coconut oil. You can get coconut oil quite reasonably, but if you want a good one, they can be quite pricey. And if you've got a family that you're looking after, then it becomes a bit...
You can get very reasonably priced coconut oil, virgin coconut oil in Asian shops.
Yeah.
Very good prices, much better than your Holland and Barrett's and supermarkets. Much, much cheaper and good.
And I like the way, Nike, that you actually displayed, because I'm not very good at weighing stuff, to be honest. But since I started on a healthier life choice, I've got my favorite food bowls that I use for myself, and then I know that I'm not overdoing it, even if it's an ice cream bowl. No, did I say that? But the ice cream bowl has now become my food bowl, as opposed to the normal big plates we have.
Yeah.
So I like the way you displayed that. That kind of gave me a visual that I could kind of work with. And I also like the way you included things like Eva and our foods as well, because you don't often get that. I mean, you wouldn't get it on any NHS site or things like that. So that kind of brings it home to me for some of my native foods, how I can kind of judge what I'm eating with that. But having said that, I don't tuck into a plate of eba and all that kind of thing like I used to back in the day. I can't do it. I can't even do it anymore. It just doesn't digest very well.
Really?
Yeah, no, I can't. And I have to eat a lot earlier in the day because things, just sit there. So yeah.
I'm trying for that, but my lifestyle makes it really quite difficult. One of my good friends there, she's already had her dinner, and it's like 7 o'clock. I'm thinking, oh my God. And that is the best. When you read what a lot of these health people say, they do say, and when they explain the reason why, especially in terms of giving your body that proper rest from having insulin running around in it, it does need that time. So yeah, if you can't eat earlier during the day, I would absolutely recommend it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm a work in progress. If I ain't my dinner now, I'd be running to the cupboard again at 9 o'clock.
Excellent. I'm really proud of your journey. Does anybody else have any other questions? No, anybody else?